Well, hello everybody. It's Leanne Greff with our video tonight. It's Monday night, the fourth Monday of each month. I try and have a live class featuring a technique or a fun fold. And today we're making this one. This I'm calling a, let's see, tuck and fold, I think is what I'm calling it. So fold and tuck maybe. You decide, but it's going to be a neat fun fold that makes really good use of your 6x6 paper. So, but first I have to say that last week, oh shoot, and I forgot to get those cards out. I did a alcohol blending technique and I couldn't find the cards earlier, and then I got distracted and forgot to look again. So I was going to remind you of what we did last time, but I don't have the cards. So while I'm talking, I'm going to refresh my page. Here we go. I just got on. Hello gals, thanks for joining me tonight for our free class. Yeah, so there was only one person who did the technique with the alcohol blends and or alcohol spritz and blends technique, and that was Carol Korleski. So congratulations, Carol. She isn't on yet, but that I can see. But she will get a prize sent to her in the mail for sharing her technique. So this time, those of you who do this fold and share it on my Stamp and Share page under the heading Let's Share, if you post that on there, you will be in the drawing for a package of free embellishments. So yeah, congratulations, Carol. I will send those to you this week. All right, let's get started. Now this designer paper is from the mini catalog, the holiday catalog that's going to start in September. And if I recall right, it starts September 6th. It's very late in the month for most of us. It's 6 days in, not used to waiting that long to get to order from the holiday catalog. This is my designer paper that I am featuring, the Garden Walk designer paper. And let's see, I'll get my package out and show you. So one side is florals for the most part, and even a little bit Christmassy. It gets into a little bit of the poinsettias and the Christmassy colors. Oh, that just repeats. And then on the back side, I'll just take those away because those are my sample. There are some small prints on the back side. So I honestly didn't think I was going to like this paper as much as I do, but I do like the way that I think on every page they coordinate. They're not opposites like some are. So yeah, you see how that one, and here is that page. So they're really nice for doing a technique like this where you see both sides. There's that one, and then here's the one that I used on my card. So as you can see, they match very nicely with each other. Okay, so I did post measurements, and I didn't print them up, but I did create the project sheet for this card. So that will be on my blog, I believe, later this week. I'll show the other card, and you'll get to see the project sheet. So Garden Walk, and I used for this, let's see, what is this called? Oh, I don't have my thing out here. It is called Wanted to Say dies. So it has You're Too Kind, those go together, Feel Better Soon, they layer each other, Happy Birthday, and then the Celebrate. And then of course there's 5, 6 little extra dies that work with this. So yeah, it's a really neat set, and that's in the annual catalog. That's not in the holiday. So that's where the Celebrate came from. And then if you notice, I used a new embossing folder on the white. You can see that. That is called, let's see if I brought that out, Distressed Tile. That's a new embossing folder from the holiday catalog. Okay, and then on the inside, I love the inside. So this is what I did with the extra corners we're going to cut off. And that Happy Birthday, oh yeah, I did take that away. Hold on, I'm gonna go grab that set because you've got to see it. I've shared it before. This is one of my favorite stamp sets in the holiday catalog, and it has this one tall greeting that I thought worked really well for these little squares we're going to cut off. Okay, let's get started. Okay, we are going to get, this is the pattern that I'm going to choose for today's card. I'm going to use Pretty Peacock as my card base, changing things up a little bit. So I'm going to get my, I like to use my scoring board when I score paper. So we want to score at 1.5. Now, when you're using a stylus on designer paper, there's a narrow end and a wider end. Always use the wider end on your designer paper. So I'm just going to flip it and do 1.5 inches on all sides. And that's it. That's all the measuring we really need to do. Okay, then I think I'll have to do it. For now, I'm just going to fold it this way so I can see the, it's really hard to see sometimes, the scores. So you're just going to, now this is as far as the instructions went on my Facebook page that I posted the directions for yesterday. So really hard to see these stripes. You're just going to remove all of these corners, every one of them, all 4, but save them in case you want to do what I did for the inside of my card. It's kind of a fun way to use these squares. I'm like, well, I don't really want to throw them away. What can I do? So I liked what I did. Okay, we'll save them all for now. Okay, then you have to decide which is, as you can see, you do see both sides, so it doesn't really matter which way you go. But I think I'm going to keep the stripe on the, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'll keep the stripe on the inside. Okay, so for now, we don't need to score it. You really don't have to score it, but you're going to take this one corner, and it has to be the same corner every time. So just fold it over. No measuring. You don't have to do that. Our paper is not that thick. So you can see that I came this corner. So I'm going to do the same thing. All the same way. Kind of like if you're making a pinwheel. Just do the same corner each time. So just don't go too far in. You do want your ends. I got ink on my finger here or something. Maybe glue. I think I'm doing this the right way. It can get really confusing when you're folding things away from each other. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to do it this way just because that's how I folded it. Okay, so, and that's okay. That's okay because it really doesn't matter. You'll see a little bit of this either way. Okay, so when you fold this now, see how this is the flat part? So put that side on top of it. See, this is the large square. Put that corner on top of it. This is where it gets the tricky part. So you're going to cover that up, but you do have to tuck this in there. There we go. That's it. So once again, when you have it open, fold one side over. See how you have this here? You want to cover this up. You don't want this whole corner to be, this whole full square, basically, a full square to be showing. So you've got to cover that up. So once you have a full square, cover it up. Just keep going around and around until you have that where that has to tuck. So that's where you get the tuck and fold. So there we go. What do you think? Pretty neat, huh? Now I do want to share, so Annette is on, I think, from Bismarck. She's one of my team members, and she was our Artist of the Month for, gosh, I think it was July or August. I don't know. But anyway, she used Hey Chuck and did this card. And so I actually had one in my hand to copy. So again, see that? So isn't that, her coloring is so cool. This is Blueberry Bushel. So you've got your full square, cover it up, full square, cover it up, full square, cover it up. But now you have to tuck this one. So that's where using designer paper helps because it's not so thick. And then you just embellish. So she added a layer behind her. I did not because I turned it on the diagonal. So you can do either way. Well, thanks, Barbara. I'm glad you think it's easy when I explain it. Okay, so let's get to finishing the card. So on my card front here, I'm sorry, Pretty Peacock. Been using that a lot. I decided to use this embossing folder. This is one of the basic 3D folders in the online store. Thought that went pretty nicely with the flowers. Now on the inside of mine, I haven't shown that. This one right here, the inside, I did stamp the image. I love that one. Hope your day is a happy one from the So Sincere. Then again, the inside is that happy birthday. Those two. I do the same thing on this one. But what I did do is I textured that inside square just to add a little something, little extra detail to it. And I did forget to cut out the stars, so I'll try and add that later. And I bet you any money, yes I did. I took my stamp set over. I've been using this for my kits to go. Hold on a second. That's the problem with working while you're creating. I need some of these stamps, so I forgot to put them back. Okay. Get our peacock ink in here, and very important to stamp straight. On the angle can be a little bit hard, so I'm going to get my points on my grid paper here. And this is a little bit hard or tricky to try and get straight because it's not exactly a straight. It has some cursive greetings on there, but it's fine. And then the other that I'm going to do, I have this just a little extra strips of paper. I grab that happy birthday stamp and attempt to get this nice and straight. Oh, I wobbled a little bit. Oh, not bad. The D is a little bit weird. I might try one more time. I might have pressed too hard. When you have stamps that are very thin, you do not need to press very hard. This is a very, I guess, detailed font. It's not thick, so you just don't want to press too hard when you're stamping that. Okay. So let's put our card together. First I'm going to adhere this and add my glue to my, and I love using liquid glue when I'm using an embossing folder because it holds very well. It grabs all those textures better than a tape runner does. Okay, that looks fun. That'll go inside. And what I did for the greeting, first I guess I'll get to that. First I'll put this on here. Okay, I'm going to stick with my angle. I kind of like that. And attempt to get it straight. I'm not going to measure, just going to hope. Okay, we'll open that up. It helps to open the flaps up so it lays flat. Well, if you're trying to do what I'm doing, boy, that is hard to see what the center is. And I could easily have layered that. It would actually look really good if I had another layer of peacock on there, but I didn't think of that. We'll just keep it as is and attempt to get this centered. It is so busy, it's almost really hard to see whether you're straight or not. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so we will fold again. And then there's the open spot, so that's the one that we have to tuck. Okay, I always feel like I want to add something in the center, like it's just not quite finished. And that's why I made a little bit more detailed of a greeting on this one. So I cut the Celebrate and the layering Celebrate out of a piece of white paper or cardstock that I had our adhesive sheets on. So after you cut that out, you will just use, it makes it a little trickier to find the backing, but once you do, there's part of the backing, but it's really, really sticky when you do it this way. So now I'm going to try and find the other, because it's broken up. These adhesive sheets have 3 different cuts on a big 12-inch piece. So there's a place for you to find the the breaks. So now it's just a matter of pressing this on without letting it stretch, because this is quite a detailed, curvy word. So if you don't like fiddling around with liquid glue on detailed things like this, our adhesive sheets will, oh, hang on, Barb, I'm going to look at what you just said in a minute here. So it really does help to avoid the liquid glue instead of and use our adhesive sheets instead. So I almost could have added a little bit of coral, but I think this is just fine. So this larger Celebrate is much easier to add glue to than the skinny one. Here on this one, I did not layer it. I just used what the white is. That is the coral for there on that card. Okay, now for the inside. All right, I did cut out an inside, and I think what I want to do is do one stripe in the center and these, I think that's what I want to do. Let's see if this looks better. It's hard, stripes are kind of hard to get them to look right. It almost looks uneven when you do the stripes, but I think I'll be okay. So I'm going to first put one down. Diagonals are really difficult to get even. If you're going to measure, that may be the way to go. So we'll do that. Probably should have put the other one down first. That looks pretty good. I'm just going to wing it. And I'm pretty good about getting things straight. And then the last one. So I'm sure many of you would have to measure, am I right? It's pretty unusual for someone not to measure, but I think it's going to be just fine. Isn't that fun? I just really like that. Yeah, that's the better side. That tall grading on this triangle cluster. Okay, that'll be the inside. So how many of you are going to try this tuck and fold designer paper peekaboo? I call it a peekaboo card. All right, lastly, so these are the gems. Let me close this up again. Let's see, this one I'll tuck right here. So these are the gems that I use. They are called Ombre Matte Adhesive Dots. So there are Calypso Coral, Olive, Coastal Cabana, and Navy. And I kind of thought some of these in between, I might just use the small ones so they don't, yeah, that works for me. Some of these in between color that isn't quite, let's see, yeah, I think I'll go like that, and we'll do another small one maybe. I'm gonna stay on this side. Okay. Kind of like I did that one. I think that looks just fine, and that looks fairly close to peacock in my opinion. What do you think? All right, now I did not look at my calendar. Let me see if I can pull that up to see when you guys have to share your version. Let's see, September 24th. You have until September 24th to share your card, your Peekaboo tuck and fold card front, to get in on the prize drawing for September's drawing. So I know we do need more tall gradings than that. That's exactly right. I was really glad to see that in that set. I wish there were a couple in here because they're just fun. I mean, just fun to do. I think that's a really cool way to add it as well. And plus I used all but one little square of my 6x6 piece of paper. So let's see who's going to try it. And who stamped with me tonight? I didn't even ask who was stamping. I know that Nancy said she was going to stamp. Yeah, it is a fast card. Definitely a fast card. You're right. So you can, after you fold that, you're welcome to use your bone folder again. Make it lay flat. It's really kind of a dimension, card filled with dimension, in my opinion. So yeah, that is the Peekaboo Tuck and Fold card. There may be another name, but hey, I'm gonna give it the name that I wanted. Now, I don't know if I showed you, but these are the Stitch with Whimsy dies that I added that stitching with on the inside of the card. Does not cut. Some people think it cuts. It only stitches. It just adds stitching. These do. I think that's all I have to share. I have some new fall products from the holiday catalog to share with you tomorrow. So Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Time, I will be sharing a few more sneak peeks of holiday catalog items. And the other thing I was going to mention is I am doing a designer paper share with 15 different papers in this catalog. I believe there are 80 sheets, and it comes to $30 plus tax and shipping. So actually $30 is with tax and shipping, but for me to ship to you, it's another $7. So $37 for 80 6x6 sheets. If you want double that, you get some 6x12 sheets. So let me know if you want double, and I will get that to you. I'm taking sign-ups now, but I cannot invoice you until next week. I believe it's Thursday, or this week Thursday is when I can start invoicing people. So they have a rule. 1 week before the catalog goes live, we can start taking payments on pre-order. All right. I also have 2 brand new kits to go featuring new products that I will share tomorrow as well. One is, well, I'm going to share one tonight. One is already on my blog. It's ready to go. It features, let me move this away, the Winter Meadow designer paper. So let me find all of the different cards. Yeah. Okay, so this is one of them. Isn't that a neat fold? Shows both sides of the designer paper. There's the other one. All of these but one are fun folds. So that's one. Here's my diagonal Z fold card in 2 different versions. Remember, everything's cut out for you except your designer paper for these cards, because you get a half a pack of designer paper. I love this scene right here with the deer and black and white grays. And it also includes this pretty silver edged ribbon. See how I used it on here as an edge? Really sparkles. Okay, that's that one. Here, this one is just simply gorgeous. I just let the designer paper do the talking. And again, I added a strip. I cut the ribbon in half and added 1/2 on each side of this designer paper strip for more sparkle. So isn't that beautiful? This is the Winter Meadow designer paper. And here is a latch front card fold. So it just kind of peeks right in there under the corner. I love diagonals. I just think they're fun. You can see I did a couple diagonals this time. Here's another one. So it just simply holds that gatefold card closed by the little latch. So fun cards. This is already on my shop here with myflowerbugshop.com. So that tutorial and kit to go, I'm taking signups through the 18th of September on my tutorial shop. So yeah, that is the kit to go, one of them for September. I will be offering another one yet with the autumn paper. So, all right, I will see some of you tomorrow. Hopefully more can join us tomorrow. Yeah, sorry you're having trouble, Nancy. That's too bad. Hopefully you can watch the replay. It will upload here on my Facebook page and as well on my YouTube channel. So you can see it then as well. All right, thanks everybody. Hope you enjoyed the cards tonight, and I hope you try one and make it and then share on the Stamp and Share page. And I'll post the link to the Stamp and Share in the video. All right, thanks so much everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.